going through it. And that was before there was anything to look at in here. And so after that, we decided, you know what, they could figure out a maze, and so we took out all those little helpful hints.
So the nether, the little hellhole there is the first little freak out, and then the second one here is this. I remember it was 2 days or 1 day before release, and you were sending emails like you send like 6 emails within an hour to Fish like, can we get this? Oh, can we get this? Can we get this? And you
Yeah,
just really wanted to
I'm
make this.
I'm very glad that Fish doesn't hate me. He literally put this in over just a couple of hours, and it looks absolutely gorgeous.
And again, there's
He
sandstone
did a
here,
great
so
job
that people
with it.
who don't have the texture pack can't see it.
Yeah, because it won't make any sense if you don't have the texture pack. But yeah, I mean, he just did a fantastic job with that. I was very pleased. So it looks very authentic. Well, frankly, because it is. He grabbed the texture straight from the original Mario game. But I figured if we were going to be dealing with hallucinations in the game, that it's only suitable to have the original hallucination-inspired video game have a little bit of a tribute here.
And viewers can see what happens when there's a sandstone right next to a block here
Oh yeah,
instead of a
yeah.
groove.
Look straight through the world.
Right. And we actually didn't want to use it in the beginning because of that, but then I was just like, okay, screw it, it's not that big of a problem. Did I go through the wrong door? Oh gosh, I think I did.
Yeah, you did. I don't think I've ever seen you get through this the right way in one try.
I don't think I've ever done... Did I? Oh, okay. No, I went up already, didn't I?
You've gone up once. You need to go up one more time. I think.
No door anywhere. Oh, you got
No,
me lost, Scott.
Okay. Go down. And
This is not a
don't.
door. I got this. I
Okay.
got this. I can handle myself.
Are you sure? Okay.
I'm not freaking
I
out.
believe you.
I'm not freaking out. There's a way over here. It doesn't go anywhere. No, wait. There it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
The frame rate for me is so bad. Trying to watch through your screen that I really can't help you. I don't know where you are at any given point.
So I moved these some of the signs that you put. I kept the writing, but I moved them closer to the Herobrine because I wanted to seem like the Herobrine's actually talking to the player.
I thought that was a nice touch.
Oh, that's quite a mark on your neck. Maybe I should use smaller darts. And I'm just kind of, you can use the. Actually, why don't you use this one as your avatar, and I'll use the other one as mine, since that one's.
Oh, that
looking
makes
at-
sense.
Yeah, looking at one of my puzzles. And this one will be looking at one of yours. It's too bad I already broke the glass, but that should be okay, right?
I'm sure it will be, and we can always go back and make another one if we need.
Although I'll be remiss to remove my companion cart, even though it is just a cart with a MS Paint drawing of a heart on it.
Well, and I've been debating, switching over to my. I have Subject 1089 as my forum avatar, but not with the jumpsuit, which is very disappointing. That was back from in EC2 that somebody made that for me.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, somebody sent that to me. I got a
Oh.
lot of fan art actually after
Really?
EC2.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Let's chat. Here we go. This is yours.
Oh, perfect.
Take that.
Now I know you changed that from what it originally said. What did those originally say when you added them?
Oh, when these two on the side actually just didn't have anything. It was a keyboard.
Oh, okay.
And then the one here just says push to kill subject. But then I added these other ones because I wanted to put the push to order Chinese food next to this one, but too many words.
Okay.
We need bigger signs in this game.
Yeah, that was the constant frustration of adding dialogue to all of these games, is that the signs are very limiting. So if you ever notice that I word things oddly, or I use a weird turn of phrase or something, it's really just to fit the stupid thing on a sign.
And we kind of wanted to have the picture of the pig eyes here, but the pig eyes was too big. and so we ended up with just this, and it really doesn't make any sense. It was supposed to be 1089 burning in hell.
But still is. It's just not the pig burning in hell. And I
Right.
wanted to add I think originally I had 2 companion cubes because that was kind of the inspiration for 1089 in the first
Right.
place. Was, the kind of bizarre emotional connection you created with the inanimate object in Portal. And I sort of tried to replicate with 1089.
I can't really get it back. I lost 4 of my portraits that way. Oh well.
Oh.
Oh, you almost got me with that turn. I always make that turn. No wait. Oh gosh, I am lost.
Yeah, this is the perfect example of a puzzle that is so much easier for the person who makes it, because I remember all of the different mazes that I put together in order to create this puzzle in the first place, and so I never make a wrong turn going through it, and I think it's really easy, but of course everyone else who goes through it has a lot more difficulty.
Now, when you first added the cake here, I don't know what it was, but it appeared to me as a big black block, so I went back and actually physically put a cake in here.
Yeah, that happened. That happened everywhere we put in a cake, and I think it's just a glitch with and the cake texture is pretty new. Actually, no, I even places I physically put a cake. So, but after I came back and put a light stone under every cake.
Oh.
So hopefully, I don't know if it's an MC edit thing. I don't know if it's. I'm not sure what it was, but for some reason the lighting wasn't working on that kind of bizarre half block that makes the cake up.
The walkthrough, I went over here, looked at the cake, and kind of did a little look around, and then just broke it, and just like, I want this cake.
Yeah, I noticed that, you little cheater.
And so we injected them with drugs, and we gave them the option to apply the antidote themselves if they really wanted to.
I really want to know how many people voluntarily shoot themselves with the
You know what? I
antidote.
don't think many of the playthroughs on YouTube are there yet, but when we see it, I know at least one person had just kind of stood there. And when I sat down with the CubeTubers, I got the guy to jump on it himself. He's like, but it's going to shoot me. He's like, it's the antidote. You got to do this. He's like, but come on, man. And he says, fine, I will stand on this and get shot.
Yeah, the hallucination dart I think was originally my idea. It was your idea to put in the antidote dart, and I thought it was a really clever one.
I just want to watch people on YouTube stand on it and get shot, like voluntarily shoot themselves, basically.
For no purpose whatsoever. Yeah.
Right, except for story continuity.
Well, some of the testers actually put up all of the signs in the next room.
Yes.
I guess they just
my
get
God.
so immersed into the game that they actually think that we have some means of checking whether they've actually put up an essay.
Now, this room is actually your idea, but you were too busy to make it, so I ended up making it.
Yeah, my wife was getting pretty upset with how much time I was spending on this by the time we got to this point. My initial idea was actually, I think in our design documents I had like the insanity room, and it was based around the definition of insanity, which is, of course, to do the same thing over and over expecting different results. And so I was going to have just a simple little quiz that was either unsolvable or would always lead them back to this room. They'd exit, the door would open briefly, they leave the room, and then they just get dropped back down into it again, and hopefully eventually realize that there's another solution. But I've been amazed how many people I've seen who continue to flip those switches in various combinations
And really show
before they
how
realize
crazy
that.
they are.
Yeah.
So it's a simple true-false quiz, and I don't understand why people have trouble with this. Picking smooth stone will give you cobblestone, that is true. Fishing rods are better than grappling hooks, that is true. Canada, that is true. Fire burns things, that is true. You can use flint and steel to light up dark areas, that is true. It's all true. I don't understand why it's so hard. And yet people...
I'm not sure. I debate you on the third question.
The
I'm
third
not
question,
sure if
Canada?
Canada's actually true.
You think Canada's false?
I tend to think so, but
You think it's
I'm,
a figment of your imagination?
I'm not sure I'm not sure it actually exists personally.
Well, here, let me just change this then to if I could spell, of course.
It's more an existential thing. Not that I doubt that it exists, but is Canada really true? Is it sincere? Is it genuine? Oh, that's definitely false.
And so and
There-
here's the big one that I always get people to do is the 1,000 to 1,500 word essay on this topic, subject 1089, greatest pig or greatest subject. And so
this
yeah,
is
one
one of
of
the
our
best
testers,
touches you put in the game. I loved that.
I think one of our, so you said yeah, one of our testers did indeed started putting up signs on the walls, expecting something to happen after he put the signs on the wall.
Apparently, he thought we were just that clever that we
Yes,
could somehow.
we managed to push the boundaries of Minecraft so far that no one ever realized. Um, I did I did convince the CubeTuber guy to put down his thesis at least.
Well, should we show them the real solution now?
Of course, of course. The real solution is that this is admin night, and this is gray wool. And I think when it pops into my, yes, you can see that it's actually gray wool in my hand. And it is something you can light on fire. And that's what the question here, fire burns things, is the hint.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the next question was a hint for the dark room as
Yes.
well.
Because apparently
we
some people
realized
didn't
not-
know that they can light the ground. Yeah, that was kind of weird. And up to this point, actually, the 3D maze was a water bucket room, which happens after the flint and steel treasure, and we actually don't use the flint and steel at all until this point, which was kind of a hint, but more like we ran out of flint and steel ideas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the water bucket is such a useful tool in Minecraft because you can, I mean, you can use it to scale walls. You can use it to disrupt carts and redstone. You can do all sorts of things with it. The fire is relatively limited in contrast, and most people have explored all the possibilities of stuff you can burn before.
Yeah. You can only burn so much in so many ways.
Yeah. Now we didn't mention we did actually that isn't the normal look of gray wool in the previous room. We did change the texture pack a little bit. You'll notice that the gray wool is slightly different color is a slightly different color than the normal gray stone texture. But we did want to, yeah, you can see a slight difference in hue because we didn't want it to make it just completely arbitrary. But so yeah, you see them next to each other. You can see that there is some difference, but we did want to make it kind of looks like stone to make it somewhat of a challenge to identify the two. So again, the genius of fish.
Yes. And there's our little monster maker. Oh, can I see the zombie in the jumpsuit? I haven't seen him really.
I don't think you
There he
did. You
is.
change the difficulty? Okay.
Yes, I did. There's a zombie. He's in a jumpsuit. The skeleton doesn't have a jumpsuit because it just falls off his bones.
Which is weird because that thing's supposed to be spitting out creepers, I think.
Oh, I see something inside. There he is. He's a creeper. Oh, he's so cute.
Yeah, and this is another one of those places that the spawners just don't work quite the same in the game as they do in a separate schematic. Because the pigs are supposed to drop out of the ceiling there, get burned up in that mixture of nether portal and lava, and then come out, quote unquote, as creepers. And it's a really convincing effect. If you pull this little schematic out and view it on its own, oh hey, a pig just dropped.
Yep.
But unfortunately, the spawners just don't behave as reliably as I would like them
Whoa,
to.
there's a lot of pigs going in, and a couple of creepers coming out. It works pretty well right now. It's a pretty good effect.
Yeah, if you wait around a little while, it'll work out. But unfortunately, nobody for obvious reasons, with the dark room being next, nobody's going to keep the difficulty on peace or on easy or anything but peaceful for long enough to allow all those creepers to spawn.
Well, hopefully
But yeah.
the insanity quiz will keep them trapped in here long enough that the effect will...
Yeah, hopefully.
So now we go, this is, let's see. Oops, that is not what I wanted to do. I wanted to set
But yeah.
peaceful.
Well, while he's doing that, so yeah, the full backstory of the series up to this point is that Herobrine has been capturing the hero and putting him through all these tests so that he can clone his brain to fuel a new breed of monsters, and so this is playing kind of on that theme. And our next project will play on that theme considerably more, actually.
All right. Do
But
you
more
want
on
to
that.
talk about it? Oh yeah, more on that later. So
Oh
yeah,
no, let's
this
tease
is
them for a little bit longer. Come on.
just to keep them on their seats and watching. This is actually a very slow pace commentary, but whatever.
Well, we can always re-record it if we want.
I think once is fine for me. Okay. So we're on peaceful, and this one actually, we called it the dark room. It's the timeout room. Surprisingly, a lot of people don't have trouble with this at all, simply because their resolution or brightness allows them to see pretty much the entire room without even any light source needed.
Well, during the first round of testing, there was actually a light stone going all the way up to the beginning of this room, which made
Right,
it very
in the
easy for
hallway, and we
testers.
removed those ones in the hallway so that the light's not reaching as far in
Mm.
anymore. But there are bloodstone around here. They used to be bloodstone pillars, so they were more noticeable, but we put them on the ground now so that they're less noticeable and less usable. And there used to be a lot more. I think I had like 9 in this room, but now there's like
Oh yeah,
4.
you had one at every turn originally,
Yeah.
and then you took them all out at one point
Yeah.
because people are having such an easy time of it. And I decided, no, I think I'll just put a couple buried into the floor so that people who get really stuck or really frustrated or have computers at really dark resolutions will still be able to navigate
Yeah,
their
it's
way.
one of those ones that where it's either really easy or kind of frustrating.
Nearly impossible. Yeah.
And originally I had half steps here that you can use to jump onto the fence and just go all the way back, but I know that in multiplayer the fencing screws you over, so I didn't even want to give that option. And now we go and collect our ID card. Oh, they love us so. Just grab a couple just for fun.
Yeah, and this was Murray's design here, and it was his idea to do the companion cart initially,
Right.
and then to make it into the ID cart and all of that. And I think originally some of your ideas was to have the cart be a persistent item from the very beginning of the game.
Well, I was gonna save
again,
that for Escapecraft 4, but then eventually when we said, oh, we're not gonna do Escapecraft 4, then I wanted to throw some of the stuff I had into this game.
we may have just traumatized a few people by revealing that we're not doing another one of these games. So
It's okay. I think I kind of said that a little bit already here and there, but I haven't. But I told them we will be doing a spiritual successor that will be announced at a later time. So the ID card, which obviously is a play on the ID card, and we just kind of,
yeah, we're suckers for puns.
yes, and it comes back out very slowly. And there was actually a problem with this ID card reader thing, is because I wanted to not let people see inside too much, but when I placed blocks over here to cover it, it actually stalled the block. So it stalled the cart so it couldn't move anymore.
Here, I want to try something that somebody suggested to me. Pour water down there instead of putting the cart.
Okay.
Supposedly that'll open the door as well.
You know what it might be? It might be that it pulls an item that drops it onto the wooden plate.
Yeah, or it may. I think it probably just gets rid of the redstone.
There's no redstone there, it's just a wooden plate. And the redstone's outside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it probably
interesting.
it dumps the items onto the thing. So yeah, we need to stop them from doing that.
Yeah, we can't let anything be that easy.
Exactly. You need to have an ID card if you want to get into these areas. Come on.
Obviously.
You got to carry this giant cart on your head. But yeah, I tried to make this as compact as possible, but it's still a really big thing.
Yeah, again, you don't even get a sense for the scale of this thing by going through it on the inside. Around the edges of every room, there's so much redstone, there's so much mechanism just to make all of this work the right way.
All right, so here's the...
This is by far the largest room.
Yes.
The largest room that we created.
Whenever I'm flying
and I'm surprised
outside
how many people...
I can always see this room. I can always see where it is. It's my landmark. You have this idea in your head since the beginning. You wanted to make something like this since the very beginning. And this is the first of what we call the synthesis rooms, where you have to utilize all the items that you've gotten so far. Previous rooms, you only use one item, but here, this is where basically the actual game kind of starts, where we no longer guide you through the game and everything is really open.
And we're much more comfortable with the idea of killing you.
Yes, as you can see. Well, I guess I'll just break down these doors.
Oh, there's several of them.
Either I break them down now or I break them down later, right?
I suppose so.
Well,
or you could just go through. Yeah, or you could just go through them, and then you could pillar up and break the glass. That would probably be easier.
I'm not confident. Oh, that was long.
We should have elevator music for that part, you know.
Yeah, or you can sing us a song. You can sing right here. Here, I'll start you off. Hum a few bars.
It was a triumph. I'm making a note here. Huge success. It's hard to overstate my satisfaction.
Excellent.
That's as far as you're getting. I don't have a very good GLaDOS voice.
Well, I mean...
Is it just 2?
Sorry? Yeah, it's just 2.
Is it just 2?
It's just 2.
Yeah, I am absolutely astounded how many people didn't think to look up and were completely trusting that Herobrine was going to tell them the right way to go. So, completely out of character, really.
Exactly. And really, they have themselves to blame. And if they rage quit after that, well, you know, they have themselves to blame. And I'm just gonna... oh, so smooth. So that dumps you right into that lava, and most people can dodge that lava pretty easily. But they realize if they look down here that, hey, it's kind of like a death trap.
Yeah, it was intended that way. Again, everyone... I'm a little sad that this bad ending wasn't nearly as clever as the one from EC2, but... I mean, honestly, the one in EC2 wasn't one of those things that I planned out from the beginning. It just kind of evolved organically from a whole series of things. But I still wanted to have some potential for people to kill themselves and that be the end of the game.
Alright, so this reactor is freaking huge, and it does indeed use all the items that you do get throughout the whole game.
How many times have you killed yourself in this room?
When I was doing the walkthrough, I embarrassingly killed myself like 3 times doing this, and this is like me doing walkthrough, come on, right? During the speedrun though, I think I nailed this room. Although I didn't take an effective, efficient route, I did manage to do it without dying. Mostly it dies by falling like that, but longer, further.
Yeah, and again, in addition to being synthesis rooms, these are the rooms from this point on that we really wanted to make look like they were functional rooms that weren't intended for testing.
Yes.
So,
I
a lot of
just
effort
having
went
destroyed rooms later on. They were rooms that look like they did something, but they're kind of wrecked. And they're no longer like, oh, here's a thing that you're supposed to do for testing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the training wheels go off at this point, so... Oh, the torch makes that a lot easier, doesn't it?
Yep, it's part of my strategy for the speedrun. That way I have time to do that and do that at the same time.
Yeah, getting the water to flow through those pipes was quite a challenge.
Oh yeah? See, now the inefficient route is to go up there. The efficient route is actually to go back down this way.
Murray has been practicing for speedrun, guys. You'll really have to work to beat him at it.
No, I think my time is pretty easily to beat. I only got like 26 minutes or something. I think a sub 20-minute run it's possible. Just need a bit of luck with the mob spawns. That's all. And you're allowed to cheat a few places, I think. Like grabbing multiple items, I'll allow that. Throwing this bucket, I'll allow that. Kablamo! Oh, that's a bigger explosion than I seen before.
Yeah, the explosions are always interesting. They're never the same way, same thing twice, and a lot of times this room will actually have quite a bit of lava in it at the end.
Yes, and that's why I jumped through first. Yeah, I love watching the lava flow. I think in the walkthrough, the one that actually ended up being the walkthrough video, the lava flow wasn't as impressive. So we'll watch it here just because it's kind of cool. But in one of my deaths, it had a cool lava flow, but then I died, so didn't get to put that on the video.
Man, is there any way they could get down from that if they didn't beat the lava down?
They could just punch the lightstone.
Oh, okay. That's breaking the rules.
Eh.
Yeah, that was quite a bit of lava coming down that time. And again, it's different every time. There are times I've done it where the only thing that exploded was the glass, and there was no lava coming out. Other times that ball is completely annihilated. The joys of creating adventure puzzles in a game that doesn't give you a scripting language.
Now, you don't have any programming experience, right? I don't have any programming experience.
I have minimal programming experience. Suffice to say, it's probably best that we can create all of this just by placing blocks.
I'm just gonna grab a couple cobble here, just emergencies later on. Now, when it's quite funny when one of the CubeTuber guys was asking, he's like, "So how did you get that?" Get the pipe thing to work. I'm like, well, you see, you have to make a fusion core first. You put some diamonds and lava in the crafting table.
You're such a dick.
Well, that's one way to put it.
Yeah, I could probably do a walkthrough video at some point explaining exactly how I got those pipes to work. But suffice to say, I had an entire world full of prototype pipes. And took, oh goodness, it was probably the 50th try I finally got something that looked the way I wanted to and actually was functional. But even then, there were several times during testing that one way or another, one of those, the water would end up flowing down one of those, and we'd have to go back and laboriously cut that section of pipe out, replace certain parts of that room. It was a pain.
Now, the funny thing about here is that the signs over there says like, oh no, you broke the rooms, right, and there's lava flowing and everything like that, and people reach this point and then they see the sign that says like, well, if you didn't break stuff, you would have gotten this, and they go, oh no, how do I save this, solve the game without breaking stuff? They actually really got immersed into the story. And there's the cake with Herobrine. Now I think originally you wanted to do something different than this, and I went in and Herobrine.
And you can actually see an artifact of it if you step all the way to the left side.
I'm already on the way to the left.
Okay. Can you actually break through obsidian with just your hand?
Of course, man. My fist is made of steel.
All right. Originally, the idea I had was, and this was before we had the ability to put Herobrine into the game in an obvious way, but I was just going to have it to where there's a light source behind a pillar of rock, and so it would cast a person-sized and shaped shadow on there, so they could, just think that Herobrine was standing just around the corner. But I like this method quite a bit better.
And it still freaks people out with his blank stare.
Oh yeah.
So the shadow was supposed to be cast like here, I guess.
Yeah. It's a very faint effect, as you can see. I'm very glad we had something a little more convincing to do.
I'm going to go punch him in the face.
Yeah, you initially forgot to... the first time I came into this room, that little cell where Herobrine was completely black. You'd forgotten to put any lightstone behind your sandstone, but I went back and fixed it.
Oh, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Falcon Punch!
Yeah, just one of the things I think people don't expect is just how complicated all of the just handling all of the lighting is in the game, because the lighting does need to be at certain levels just to make the game really work. Well, and that's something we end up tinkering with a lot.
Especially in this
I end up tinkering with a lot. Murray tends to just make the entire floor out of freaking lightstone, and he'll solve it that way, or he gives you no light whatsoever. So he kind of does the extremes. I'm always the one who's kind of playing with the variations and what I can do with light, and yeah.
You want to set the mood.
That also I think has a lot to do with the fact that I've already made 2 of these games, and so I have this clear idea of how I want things to work. And
See, now, I wanted to explain, I didn't want, I was really into the story, and I didn't want to just give people random light in this area. This light here is actually part of the side chain that's outside.
oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so that explains this one, right? So if you see, there's a chain of light all around the outside, and back in the other room, and so that one actually continues on here, and that's where this light comes from.
Okay.
So that one is explained, and then the other source of light, so you can see that better from here, I guess. The other source of light is actually lava, which is flowing into the chamber, but I didn't want to reuse that too often, so I only did it once. But I could have done it more times if, Scott just bugged me like 3 more times or something like that.
No, no, I liked how this eventually turned out.
So there's
There
a
were a
little bit
couple.
of lava in here.
Well, and lava was a nice touch because, of course, it's a light source that goes out once you pass it,
Yes.
since your water will extinguish it.
No, if you do it smartly enough. I think I made a grotto there so that it wouldn't go out anymore.
You were just trying to improve your speed time.
Yeah. Any fixes you see that makes the game easier is just because